Before a week or two from now, I made this video about the iPhone 17, where I went a little too hard on a phone that wasn't even released yet. Some of you even got mad at me because of it, but it turns out I was right. Apple is literally the worst at keeping secrets. The the iPhone 17 Air, 17 Pro, and 17 Pro Max were literally all over the internet 5 months before the actual event. So today we're reviewing the 17 series. Which one is the best, which one is the worst, and which one you should go for. So, let's start. Let's start with the base 17, and let me be honest with you. Although Apple gave us the perfect opportunity to mock this phone for its boring and recycled design from the 16, it's actually the only model that doesn't feel like a typical Apple scam. The design stayed the same as last year, which is very disappointing. The 17 is so identical to the 16 that you didn't even notice that those are two iPhone 16. I was at least expecting the dynamic island to be smaller than that. However, increasing the storage and screen refresh rate without moving the price, that really deserves some respect. The base 17 contains everything from last year's 16 Pro, but with the same base price. A moment of silence for those who bought the 16 Pro. The colors of the base 17 sucks. I mean, look at this. They all look sad. It's clear that Apple did that on purpose, making the base colors dull and boring to make the Pro shinier and more attractive. On the features side, there were mainly 3 options that deserve the hype. The 256GB storage, the A19 chip, and the Pro Motion display. The battery section still needs tests to be sure about it, because Apple could claim the battery lasting the whole day. But doing what? Sitting turned off?
Puts the iPhone 17 in 5th position with 10 hours 28. I'm glad to see that it is conclusively better than the 16s.
The storage one is self-explained, and honestly, a very great decision. The 128 option is slowly becoming useless, since now, most iOS updates literally needs a whole floor to install. The A19 usually means a faster performance, but if you're upgrading from the 15 or below, from the 16, you won't notice much change, since the 16 is already fast. The Pro Motion display is the bigger deal. True, not many cares about it, but trust me, once you try the 120Hz screen, you won't want to go back to the 60Hz. The screen will feel smoother, faster, and more battery efficient. The center stage front camera also deserves the mention. For example, here I can just take a selfie, and the AI will suggest me 4 different frame styles to choose from. It can also stabilize video if you're filming while moving or running. For this model, I can only say approved. The star.
But hey, well, what about the camera?
I don't think we need to talk about the iPhone camera anymore. The level of quality Apple has reached in photography is so high that it's basically the default now. So, if you don't hear me mentioning that point, it's because all models have already hit their peak in camera performance. The star of the event this year is the 17 Air. Apple has always had a problem with that middle slot phone. They tried with the Mini, but the battery was a disaster. They went with the Plus, but sales were lower than Jobs' hairline. Now they are trying with the Air. At first, this gives you a premium feeling, similar to that chocolate with luxury packaging, but tastes like shit. And I want to ask Apple a question. Who the hell asked for a tinier size? I'm not saying the idea is bad, but if Apple really wants to impress its audience and shut down any innovation critics, they can introduce a foldable iPhone. Huawei is now making curtain phones while Apple is still struggling to teach Siri how to respond. But to be honest, the level of engineering in that device is legendary. The phone is literally a huge battery with a screen and lens on it. The phone also has the same color problem as the base 17, a clear black and white, and a very pale gold and blue. The Air is large in display, light in weight, very thin in thickness, and strong as hell.
Let's go. You know, it's interesting because it looks like it really can bend, but this phone will not bend.
So, no iPhone 6 incidents. The chip is the A19 Pro, similar to the one in the Pro and Pro Max. Apple claims that the Air will have the best performance in the 17 lineup. And yes, we can agree that with these specs, the phone can probably run Crysis. But the Air also has many potential red flags. And the biggest of them, the battery. Apple is a master at manipulation. Their formula is simple. They start the introduction conversation with something either shocking or disappointing, then slowly rain you with features and excuses to justify buying this phone. And once you're convinced to buy it, the problems begin. It happened many times before. The Air, just from a first look, raises two basic concerns: battery life and overheating. Apple responded to the battery life question by saying that the A19 will take care of that. But if that wasn't enough, and won't be enough for sure, Apple has thankfully made a specific MagSafe battery pack for your 17 Air for just $99. But for the overheating concern, Apple said nothing. The vapor chamber cooling system is reserved only for the Pro, and Apple didn't even claim that the Air won't overheat under heavy work. For this model, I can only say,
I don't know.
the Pro— Wait, still not subscribed? Come on, bro. All you have to do is
Follow the damn train!
like and subscribe. The Pro and the Pro Max is where the real action begins. And I don't know about you, but this orange color is kinda ugly. The other two colors, deep blue and silver, looks pretty cool though. The absence of the black option this year made no sense. The Pro was expected to come in 5 colors. Most important of them is the liquid glass. But maybe next year. The absence of reverse charging was also disappointing. Given that huge battery upgrade in the Pro, Apple could have easily added this feature at least to the Pro Max. Overall, there isn't much to say about the Pro this year. Everything Apple advertised about it seems legit, and honestly, it deserves that title. However, I'd put the Pro in the great section, the base in the winner section, and the Air— well, that one still needs some testing. So that's what I have in this video. I would